Have you ever wondered how an ancient story of liberation and miracles still inspires millions today? Moses, a humble leader born in Egypt, shaped history with his courage and divine encounters. In this video, we will explore the foundational story of Moses and the Exodus. Moses' journey from a vulnerable infant hidden in a basket on the Nile to a leader driven by faith immediately grabs our attention. And to lighten the mood, here's a joke. When Moses parted the Red Sea, he really knew how to make a splash in history. Through his transformation and the epic events that followed, we see how courage, faith, and commitment defined his mission to free his people. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring each step with creativity and clarity as we uncover what makes this story so unforgettable. Enjoy learning. Let us begin with the early life of Moses and his call to greatness. The Hebrews in Egypt suffered under harsh oppression. Pharaoh ordered the drowning of Hebrew male infants, yet Moses was born under circumstances of hope. His mother, determined to save him, placed him in a basket and set him adrift on the Nile. Fate intervened when Pharaoh's daughter discovered the baby and adopted him. Although raised in Egyptian luxury, Moses never forgot his true heritage. As he grew, he became increasingly aware of the injustice endured by his people, setting the stage for his future as a liberator. Moving forward, a divine encounter changed everything. He became a bondservant of his father-in-law, Jethro, priest of Midian, in order to marry Jethro's daughter, Zipporah. While tending his flock in Midian, Moses encountered a burning bush that would not burn up. This miraculous sight was God's way of calling him to lead the Israelites to freedom. Though hesitant and unsure of his eloquence, Moses accepted this mission after receiving reassurance and miraculous signs from God. Exodus 3:2-10. Moses and the burning bush. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Because of his insecurities about his speech, Moses wasn't very good at everyday conversation, let alone public speaking to royalty or the masses of Israelites he was expected to lead, and so his brother Aaron was appointed as his spokesperson, ensuring that the message of liberation was clearly conveyed. The journey to freedom truly began when Moses returned to Egypt to confront Pharaoh. Although he was hesitant and severely lacking confidence, God reassured Moses again, granting him power to work miracles and wonders before the royal Egyptian court. Exodus 4:1-5. Moses answered, What if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, The Lord did not appear to you? Then the Lord said to him, What is that in your hand? A staff, he replied. The Lord said, Throw it on the ground. Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it. Then the Lord said to him, Reach out your hand and take it by the tail. So Moses reached out and took hold of the snake, and it turned back into a staff in his hand. This, said the Lord, is so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared. Moses then returned to Egypt, and as he stood before the king's court, he boldly demanded the release of the enslaved Israelites. Exodus 5:1-9, bricks without straw. Afterward, Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go so that they may hold a festival to me in the wilderness." Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go." Then they said, "The God of the Hebrews has met with us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God, or he may strike us with plagues or with the sword." But the king of Egypt said, "Moses and Aaron, why are you taking the people away from their labor? Get back to your work." Then Pharaoh said, "Look, the people of the land are now numerous, and you are stopping them from working." That same day Pharaoh gave this order to the slave drivers and overseers in charge of the people. "Smoni, you are no longer to supply the people with straw for making bricks. Let them go and gather their own straw, but require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. They are lazy. That is why they are crying out, 'Let us go and sacrifice to our God.' Make the work harder for the people so that they keep working and pay no attention to lies." In response, a series of 10 plagues was unleashed upon Egypt. Water turned to blood, frogs invaded every corner, swarms of fleas, gnats, and flies covered Egypt. Even the livestock fell under plagues of disease, and darkness shrouded the land, culminating in the heart-wrenching loss of every firstborn. With each plague, Pharaoh's resistance faltered until finally he relented. The Israelites left hastily, marking the beginning of their epic exodus. As they fled, a miraculous event unfolded. As the Israelites came up on the shores of the Red Sea, the Egyptian army behind them, there seemed no way out. That is, until God called an audible. He told Moses to lift his staff above his head and spread his arms out. Moses did as he was told, and what happened next? The Red Sea parted, creating a path to escape, while the pursuing Egyptian army was swept away, showcasing the power of divine intervention and faith at its best. During the long journey through the wilderness, the people encountered many challenges. For 40 years, they wandered under a vast sky. An entire generation died off in that time as punishment for complaining, doubting God, and being unfaithful by worshiping a golden calf when Moses was on Mount Sinai receiving the 10 Commandments. They were sustained by manna from heaven, which they complained about. Then God sent quail for food and water drawn from a rock. At Mount Sinai, Moses received the 10 Commandments along with a comprehensive set of laws that established a covenant between God and his people. These rules were designed to guide not only their spiritual lives, but also their everyday actions. Despite moments of doubt and rebellion, including the incident of the golden calf, or Moses' disobedience at the rock of Massah and Meribah because he struck the rock an extra time not following God's precise instructions, a sin that was all too common among the Israelites under Moses. Although Moses remained a steadfast leader, always interceding on behalf of his people and guiding them toward a future filled with hope and purpose. Moses' inspiring leadership and the events of the Exodus continue to resonate with audiences today. His story teaches us that even in the darkest moments, when challenge appears insurmountable, faith and determination can light the way forward. Each miracle and act of courage not only changed the course of history, but offers timeless lessons on resilience and hope. The story of Moses and the Exodus remains a beacon of hope and freedom, even for those new to this remarkable narrative. We have seen how a vulnerable infant was saved, how a simple shepherd became a leader through divine intervention, and how a nation was born out of courage and faith. The journey, filled with miracles like the parting of the Red Sea and the provision of manna, continues to teach us the power of resilience and the importance of standing up against injustice. This timeless narrative, simple in its core message yet rich in lessons, invites us all to reflect on our own capacities for change. Remember, every step of Moses' journey offers a lesson in determination and trust. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more inspirational stories that bring ancient wisdom into modern life. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any new content I put out, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on this extraordinary tale. Thank you. As always, God bless you.